Hello beautiful person, welcome back to the channel. My name is Prince Vegeta and today we're going to be going over a few tips and tricks for creating guitar melodies. From scratch and from stock FL Studio plugins, of course. Shout out to the comment winner. I mean, that's just spot on commentary right there, especially considering this video's thumbnail. Comment below to be featured in the next video. Check out my self-improvement channel. It's pretty cool and I'd love to build a communion of young men aiming for masculine excellence. If you want my best drum sounds for my placements and viral beats, totally free, there's a link in the description to my 14 drum kit where you can access that. Oh, and I'm holding a beat battle to celebrate reaching 100,000 subscribers. It's ending on Monday, so if you want to participate, hurry up and click the first link in my description to sign up now. But you better come right back here to watch this video after. Alright, let's jump into the tutorial. Oh, last thing, I promise. Please drop a like on this video as it greatly helps my channel against the YouTube algorithm. And as you do, I wish you a wonderful learning experience. God bless you and enjoy. Let's start with sound selection. This step is essentially the only one that matters, and that's true for all of music. You can usually save yourself so much effort by knowing that you have to start with good sound. Here is something that I've learned from going platinum in South Africa and making hundreds of thousands of dollars for my music. Good sound equal good beat equal money, money equals smile. So normally I use real guitar when I'm making a guitar melody if I wanted to go with a paid VST, and ample guitar was really solid as my free option for a long time. But lately I found myself opening Flex for basically everything, and guitars are no exception. All the guitar patches in here are awesome, but my favorite has to be this 60s electric guitar. Oh, by the way, all of these are free inside of FL Studio's Flex VST, which comes stock with all bundles, even the free one. Alright, so let's just drag in this scale helper and I'm gonna make a 1-4-5 chord progression in the minor harmonic scale. And I can go even one step further with making this sound more authentic by strumming my notes using the Alt+S shortcut and then randomizing them with the Alt+R shortcut. These are two things you can do to almost any melody with any VST to make it sound more like it's being played by hand as opposed to being clicked in by a mouse. Okay, let's move on to chord arpeggiation. So to me, this is the sauce in making any trap guitar melody, but low-key, it can be applied to like any genre because it's basically just a regular music technique. You can for sure just play the chords straight up, and there is nothing wrong with that. But your ultimate goal should be to have some groove or bounce somewhere in your harmony, and arpeggiation is great for doing this, especially with guitars. So arpeggiation is when you break apart a chord and create a sequence or a pattern from the notes of the broken chord. Knowing this, let's see how we can arpeggiate our chord here. I've noticed that the 1/3 grid setting is really good for creating rhythmic guitar melodies. Now let's compare the before and after. Notice the drastic difference in rhythm between the both of them. Okay, lastly we have effects. So effects are done on the back end once you've routed your melody to the mixer. There are a ton of ways to do this with paid VSTs, and there are a lot of good videos out there going over those methods. So today I want to show you some no-cost techniques that I use to get the most out of my guitar melodies. So right off the bat, I want to show you one of my favorite effects techniques. I affectionately refer to this as the EQ sandwich. You'll see why in a second. To set this up, I bring in my first EQ and I place it at the top of the chain. This is our first piece of bread. Keep in mind the order of these is important as it determines what order of effects the melody will go through. Switching the sequence may give you a drastically different result. With this first EQ, I want to do a hard cut on all frequencies under 200 Hz and then over 12,000 Hz. This is a pretty standard technique, and though you'll hear different exact numbers and degrees of cut depending on what producer you're talking to, most will agree that this type of cut is a necessary element for basic mixing. It is done in order to subtract the highest and lowest frequencies from your melody. They are almost never needed and only serve to muddy your overall mix, so always cut that shit out, boss. Then once you have those outer parameters set, you can adjust it to your liking like I did here. If you're interested in more in-depth mixing instruction or just a general solution to any mixing struggles you may have, I recommend checking out this mixing tutorial here, which I will link in the description below. Alright, so now we need our second EQ, the second piece of bread in our sandwich. This time we will add it to the bottom of our chain so that it is the last thing our input signal encounters before becoming a fully affected output signal that we hear from the mixer. And we'll just leave that alone for right now because we don't need it just yet. Now we can add the rest of our effects, the fillings to our sandwich. First I'm gonna add some isotope vinyl because, duh, we need some wear and tear. Then we can toss on some fruity chorus, and of course I'm gonna be using the Fat Clean preset because it is goated. Next, I'm gonna add some fruity reverb. I like to use the large hall setting. If you're gonna do that, just be sure to turn down the bass knob because you don't really want reverb on your low frequencies, traditionally speaking anyway. And then I'm gonna add some fruity delay too with the widen preset just for good measure. This is gonna give the melody even more width and space stacked on top of what we got from the reverb. Now this is where our second EQ comes into play. We wanna use this to clean up any really low or really high frequencies that might have been reintroduced to the melody due to the plugin effects that we used. This will keep your melody sounding nice, clean, and in control. So here's what we had when we started. And here's what we ended up with. So that's actually kind of fire. So I added some drums and I'm gonna let that rock for the outro. Again, you can find all of these sounds for free in the 14 drum kit, and you can find a link to that in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate you spending time with me today. I'm gonna return to my Pokeball now because I am exhausted. But before I do, please drop a like if you learned something new and share this video with a producer who could use some help making guitar melodies. And don't forget to sign up for the beat battle. Oh, and please subscribe. If you don't, your FL Studio will crash the next time you use it, you'll spill coffee on your MIDI keyboard, and the next video on this channel will be a 10-minute melodics ad. Wait, really? I mean, probably not, but why risk it? Peace.